What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Shaman Warrior Network. I'm your host, Shaman Jona, and today we're going to be talking about having a positive outlook. More importantly, we're going to be talking about navigating through your low times, but with that positive outlook.
Oh damn, yeah, I plan, go and get to know the booty. Have it in my hand, if it is sand, Garden Eden type of juicy. Best believe this type of beauty, only see no sign.
I want to kick everything off with a little story. The story is about two people. You could pick their gender, because I ain't trying to trigger, you know what I'm saying?
What did you just say?
These two people, both very hardworking individuals, great work ethic, and all they do is they know how to work and get the job done, all right? So the one person, though, they're a complainer. The other person, they're solution-oriented. So both people are in high times of their life, and they're getting a lot done. They have a lot of successes. They both have very successful endeavors in business, friendships, relationships, and everything is working out very well for them. And in these times, the person that's a complainer is still looking at their business, still looking at their life, and pointing out the faults, pointing out things that they're unhappy with, pointing out things that they wish that they can change or they wish would change.
You ungrateful milkshake.
Whereas the other person with the positive, optimistic outlook is looking at their life and they're very grateful. They're grateful for what they have. They're happy that they even have what they have because they understand that these high times are high times and life is that roller coaster. At any time, we're going to drop. So gratitude helps you really appreciate where you are. And that's what they're doing. They're very grateful for everything. They're even telling the people on their team, hey, thank you for all that you do. I wouldn't be here without you. But rather the other person is more like me, thinking, oh, I got here by my own blood, sweat, and tears, and this is my creation. I have to protect it because at any moment it can be taken away from me because it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Who do I trust? Me!
Let me know in the comments below which person you resonate with. It's okay. You can resonate with either one. We're all impermanent beings. We're all changing, and it's okay if you're aligning with this negative mindset. Coronavirus hits. The pandemic comes through. There's quarantine, business shutdowns. People have to stay in their homes, and they both have to close down their businesses. So the one person who is negative and doesn't have a great outlook on life, they're completely upset, thinking like, oh, dang, like I knew this was coming. I knew that everything was going to get taken away from me. Oh my God, like it took me so long to build this business, to build what I have. How can God take this away from me? Why are you doing this to me? Why me?
Why are you doing this to me?
The other person is thinking like, oh, I see that the world is going through a time of change and I'm going to have to change with the times if I still want my business to be relevant, if I still want to grow, and if I still want to see the same success that I was seeing just previously before the pandemic hit. And they're looking at everything still very grateful. They're looking at ways that they can help advance their life, adapt to the changes because they are solution oriented. They're not complaining. They see the problem, but they're not sulking on it. They're seeing the problem and they want to find a way to create a solution. They want to find a way to take this problem and use it to their advantage. This is how having a positive outlook is going to help you too, because this positive outlook person in the story, they're looking at life and they're not upset. Even though there's these bad things happening to them, their business shut down just like the other person. They have zero revenue coming in just like the other person. They don't know what they're doing next just like the other person. But instead of being upset and mad and victimizing themselves to the external forces of the world, they're seeing everything. They're being observant of the change. They're taking a moment saying, this is not all about me. How do I fit into this puzzle piece of the world? They're taking that step back as an observer to see what's going on. So now in these low times, the person who's being very negative, they're they're not building. They're hurting. In fact, since they're hurting inside, they're projecting this pain to everybody around them. They're projecting it to their family. They're projecting it to prior business partners. They're burning bridges that could possibly help them in the future when they come to rebuild, because nothing is ever finite. Everything is always changing. Like I said, we are impermanent and so is the world. So there's no need to project that negative vibe, these low vibrational feelings that you have. No need to project it, because this person is projecting it. They're burning their bridges. Nobody wants to do business with them anymore because they're like, wow, you know what? This person hit tough times and they crumbled. But the other person is not burning bridges. They're reaching out. They're saying like, you know what? I don't have the time here for business right now because my business is dead. So with this newfound free time that I have, I'm going to network. I'm going to communicate with new people. I'm going to find out who's out there with ideas like I have. And so we can craft better ideas and grow in these new circumstances. Now, a couple years pass. Now time is moving. And you know what? The person who had the negative outlook, they actually were able to build up a little business for themselves, but they're still thinking like, you know what? This business is nothing like the one that I had before. It's nothing like what I had, like what I wished for. It is nothing like I expected. And I just wish that I could go back in time and have what I used to have, because that was so much better. They're attached to the past. They're attached to these ideas that they wish nothing changed. But life is always changing, and they weren't adapting with that change. Where this other person is actually growing. Their business that they started is 2 times, 3 times bigger than the business that they had previously. They have new business partners, new brains on the team, and they are expanding with the times with a very positive, grateful attitude. And they're seeing everything for what it is. What I want you to take away from this is that both people had exactly similar external circumstances, but both people had completely different mindsets and perspectives on their life. A good friend of mine told me that if you can't go through the low times with that outlook, with the good perspective, then when you come back up, you're not going to come back high. You're going to come back at a lower point than your last high, because this outlook and this perspective, your negativity, you're succumbing to it, and you're not seeing what you should see, because your mentality, your mindset, your perspective is putting blinders on you, and you're not seeing all of the opportunity around you.
I'm blind. I'm blind. I'm blind.
And you can see that this happened to the person who had that negative outlook. When they were in these low times, when they rebuilt their business finally, their business was nowhere near that where it was in the past. And still they were thinking, dang, I wish I had what I had before. Oh, if times were different. And they were unable to change, unable to adapt, unable to evolve from what happened to them. And the person with this positive mindset and positive perspective, as they were entering these low times, they still had this positive outlook. So instead of only seeing the negative, they were seeing the opportunities. They were seeing different ways that they can also change with the times. They evolved their business and made something bigger, something that they didn't even have previously. And they could actually look back in retrospect and say, hey, you know what? This pandemic was a blessing to me, a blessing to my business, because it forced me to change and it forced me to adapt.
Adapt or die, my friend.
I hope you enjoyed the story, and I also hope it added a lot of value to you. And I hope you remember that life is a roller coaster. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, and we're always bound to go back up. But that height of that rebound is all based on your mentality. How are you viewing your life? Are you staying grateful? Are you being positive? Are you not burning your bridges? Are you cultivating better relationships and growing and adapting? Or are you sulking in the negativity and succumbing to that low vibrational and negative energy? And are you victimizing yourself to your circumstances? This is very big. If you are, remember that when you come back up, because you will, you may not come back, as high as you were before. And you can always change that. You're in control of your growth, and it all starts here in your mentality. Thank you so much for tuning into the Shaman Warrior Network. If you feel like this video brought value to you, do me a favor, hit that like button and share the video with a friend that you know might be in need of a good pick-me-up story, a story to let them know that they can persevere through their low times by changing their mentality and making sure that they're grateful. And if you really like the content, make sure you subscribe, because I have videos coming out every week to help you ignite that flame from within, and you can be your authentic self. I love you all. Till next time, have a beautiful day. Namaste.
This that natural might get canceled with the government pursuing. This that crack your heart wide, feel the energy inside, then you mix it all together with the energy divine.